for the most part, the offseason in terms of roster construction has been done. We're talking about free agency. We're talking about the draft. Now, there may be additional signings here and there, but for the most part, this roster, as constructed, is heading into training camp to compete for the top 53. So let me go to Boy Green. We're going to go to James Wudi, and we're going to go down the roster and talk about five positions that we feel the most confident, and we feel that you should feel the most confident moving forward. Let's talk about it. Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Come on in. Yeah.
Okay, let's go! J-E-T-S, jet! Let's go! J-E-T-S, jet! Let's go! There you go, Woody!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Woody, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby. Boy Green meets Woody.
Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi, and you already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere, right here. Oh, you see him in the mornings. You're seeing him in the afternoon. Allegedly, the number one 3 p.m. show of all times. He is the boy who became king, Mr. Paul Esden Jr. And I'm super excited. Today specifically, and it has nothing to do with the team that we're going to talk about today, and it has everything to do with the team that we watched last night come back down 20 points. 20 points, 17 minutes left to go in the game, and my New York Knickerbockers came all the way back. The clutch player of the year, of course, but maybe the decade, maybe the century. Jalen Brunson, the New York Knicks, laying the smack down on all of Boston's candy asses. What a game that was. Boy Green, did you see the game?
I did. I caught a little bit of it. Yeah.
Caught a little bit. I mean,
I watched the whole thing.
I watched the 45 missed threes, just atrocious Celtic play. And the Knicks just laying the smack down.
I'm glad you brought that up, Woody. And again, I bend the knee to the Iron Throne. I see Fleur Lily in here. How about those Knicks? Matthias, go Knicks. I bend the knee to the one true king of the North in game one. The New York Knicks. They won. Clutch play. Mikal Bridges. Josh Hart making crazy-ass rebounds with his body. Obviously, Jalen Brunson, clutch man of the year, all that jazz. Cat, whatever the hell he was doing. Yes. I bend the knee to game one. And the Knicks win in overtime, win by 3, exciting fashion. My question to the universe is this. How likely is it that the Celtics miss 45 three-pointers the most all-time again? And they missed 45 threes, and they only lost by 3. Here's another statistic for the people out in the universe. The Celtics shot 60 threes during the game. Here's a trivia time, Woody. Do you know how many of them were uncontested? Again, the Celtics shot 60. How many uncontested three-pointers were there for the Celtics?
I'm not sure. Probably more than half.
45. 45 of the 60. That means the Knicks only defended 15 of the 60. 45 were uncontested. 32 of the 45 uncontested ones the Celtics missed. So long story short, I ask the universe this. How often is that to happen again? I guess we'll find out. Game 2 in the Garden, Wednesday night, TD Garden, and we'll see what happens. But here's what I would say if I'm a Knicks fan, right? Because I'm not. But here's what I would say if I'm a Knicks fan. Who gives a shit? Okay? The Knicks did their job. They stole one on the road. If the Celtics win at home on Wednesday, who cares? Okay, you won one. We already stole one, you bastards. It's at least going to be 1-1 in Madison Square Garden on Saturday night. So to me, if I'm a Knicks fan, all the pressure's on the Celtics. They have to win on Wednesday night. If they don't, what will be the stomping ground at MSG if the Knicks are up 2-0 on the Boston Celtics? I can only imagine. So again,
it's a sweep if that happens.
It's not. But again,
the point. What?
There's no bleeping way. You're saying that it never goes back to Boston? Get the hell out of here, okay?
If they're up 2-0, going into Madison Square Garden,
come on,
no, the real Garden, nah, come on now,
the real Garden. The fact of the matter is this: again, if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm feeling awesome. If I'm a Knicks fan, obviously, I'm feeling awesome. And again, at worst, it's 1-1 heading into Saturday night at MSG, where it should be electric. So again, if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm feeling awesome. And let's see what happens. But that's the thing that would scare me if I'm a Knicks fan. If I'm like, damn, the Celtics were off and we were pretty good and we only won by 3. Like, boy,
we were pretty good. Cat was out the whole game with foul trouble. Josh Hart was also out with foul trouble. The Knicks were struggling to score points. It was OG, he had
a great game.
But even Brunson.
Solid? Come on. Put some respect on OG Anunoby. He played like his best game of the year.
That was not his, but see, that's what I'm saying. I follow the Knicks. It's okay. You're not following the Knicks. He's played better games than that. OG was carrying the Knicks when Brunson was out. And Brunson, who averages 30, didn't even get 30. So to act like, the Knicks, played their best game.
I didn't say their best game.
Beat a team, who missed 45 threes. That is wildly inaccurate. And you will see what happens the rest of this series. Just know that anything can happen. Anything can happen in sports.
Yeah, anything can happen in sports, and we're gonna see. We'll see how the Celtics respond. The defending world champions. The Knicks haven't won a world championship since 1973. My and our father was 5 years old. So we'll see what happens. Okay.
All right. Well, let's take it to a franchise that's even worse than that. The Jets, baby.
Hey, now wait just a second. That's disturbing. But before we get there, Woody, before we get to our Jets, I want to answer 2 questions. Two. Mahar Khalil. Me and Woody were actually talking about this before the show. Where can I go to confirm myself and my son for the tailgate event? Mahar Khalil. Thank you so much for the question. You and many people on the edge of your seats, and I'm excited too. I can't wait for the Boy Green Spectacular. We're going to have a tailgate in the parking lot. We're going to have a Jets home game, ticket, discounted prices, all that jazz. For anyone that is interested, I will be putting together a Google Doc sheet that if people that are interested could put all their information. Hey, I'm Mahar Khalil. I'm going to want 2 tickets. I'm going to want 2 for the tailgate, 2 for the tickets, and all that jazz. What we don't know yet is all the financials, where exactly the seats are going to be. I'm in communications with the Jets. Already gave them a deposit, so the tickets are happening, just where they are and all that jazz. So we don't know the exact money, but I love the passion that everybody has for this. Again, that will be dropping soon. I'll put that on the Boy Green Discord. I'll put that on YouTube for the members section. I'll put that everywhere so you guys can sign up and make sure you don't miss it. I promise you won't miss it. I'll be promoting it like nobody's business, so you will see it. I promise. You and your son are in 1,000% for the game tickets, the tailgate tickets, everything. I promise we're going to be in. There is time. The schedule comes out in 8 days, and all this other jazz is going to happen. So I promise Mahar and anyone else who's interested, that's happening. I'm humbled by all the interest from you guys. It's going to be a kick-ass time. It's going to be awesome. So thank you, Mahar, and everybody else that's reached out. It's totally happening. There's just some more pieces to come for that. And let's do this. Let's get a 10-pack combination, Woody, of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships from the high heavens. Never hurts to incorporate one of these into the conversation. Let's read the 10 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. A shout out to our guy, J-Boy, here on the show. That is Red Bean, Shari French, Jets Media. Oh, hey now. He's in. Shout out to Jets Media. Josh McMinn, Backwoods Aren't Cool, Gil, Gaming with Chris, Nick Russo, Daniel Yanez, Frank Vecchione, You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Gosh Darn Coffee Club, baby. Love it.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. You get to hear us, right? Get to hear this man, Boy Green, break it down. Break it down. I just actually occurred to me.
Sure.
My cousin, Brandon Roberts, who has made his way onto the shows a couple times to troll
Met
us.
him before, yeah, last year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a Patriots fan, but diehard Knicks fan.
Wow. Okay, so you guys connect on that. Nice. Okay.
But you're pretty much the opposite. You're literally the flip opposite of that. So just having to deal with that dual New York Boston fandom is just it's a weird combination.
That's for sure. J-Boy, by the way, appreciate you, pal. You now have 39 raffle tickets for our contest this month. That's scrolling on the ticker. Real quick, I'll throw it up. Here's our contest for this month. One of our coolest contests we've ever had for our giveaways. We have a commemorative New York Jets game coin with a certificate of authenticity from the National Football League. That's up for grabs. That is pure mint, baby. And a New York Jets signature football that is a full-size NFL football. If you guys want a chance to win these items, we'll be giving this away to one lucky person on June 1st. Throughout the month of May, you guys can send in super chats. You guys can purchase a Boy Green Coffee Club membership in the YouTube description down below. You can gift Boy Green Coffee Club memberships like J-Boy just did. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the money sign. Final option is gift channel memberships. They're $2.99 a piece. That is the price per raffle ticket. You can have as many as you'd like, but I suggest you at least buy one throughout the month of May to have a chance. If you have one ticket, you have a chance. The more you have, the better your odds. But there you go. Wanted to throw that in as well. So, Wudi, without further ado, we got a top 5 to get to. A top 5 positions that Jet fans should feel most confident in post-draft because, as you mentioned, the roster construction, the hay's sort of in the barn. There's again, we'll have another show perhaps later this week describing some more hay that could be added to said barn, but currently most of the hay is in that barn. Wudi.
Yes, it sure is. So, as a matter of fact, this is a trivia question that I do not know the answer to, Boy Green.
No. Okay.
Do you know the date that Joe Douglas was hired?
Ooh, I'm going to be pretty close. I know it was 2019. I know it depends on the perception. I believe it was June, could be like June 19th, could be June 9th, something like that, is when Joe Douglas was hired because Mike McCagnon was fired after the draft. So that was in early May. And then they went through a process to hire somebody. And then that ended up being Joe Douglas. So I'll double check that in just a second. Why do you ask? Because
it's just so funny that that's when they decided to make a GM change is after the draft. And now we're looking at May 6th right here. And luckily, this GM is going nowhere because he just was hired. And like we said, the hay is in the barn.
June 7th, Wudi. June 7th of 2019 is when he was hired.
June
7th.
All right. Almost a month out from today's date. So just to let you know how much of disarray the New York Jets were in back in 2019. That's what I really want to do, was show the perspective of
what's a good perspective.
Yeah, right. That offseason versus this one. But Boy Green, you can start us off with your list.
Okay. I'll start us off with a YouTube super chat coming in, baby, from DNY for Life, aka Devin, here on the show. Every time I get a super chat, we hear from my daughters, Ryan Luna.
Wow.
In all caps. When is the info on the tailgate? How much are the tickets, Boy Green? This info should have been released 3 weeks ago. Go Knicks, F Boston, LOL. Yeah, I know. I literally have gotten these questions like every day, which is cool. Like I said, I don't take this for granted. It's humbling that anyone would care to tailgate with me, watch a game with me, anything, would have any interest. That's cool as bleep to me. So I never get sick of these questions. These questions are awesome. Like I said, behind the scenes, because the schedule's not out yet, I'm working like a madman of locking in tailgate pricing, of locking in the Jets tickets and everything else that includes. So I am pumped the F up. I'm ready to do this big. Me and Wudi had a conversation last year after our first meeting of all time in person, but also for the tailgate of like, hey, man, we should maybe do this once a year. And we sort of walk through some of the things we'd want to do and improve because I want you guys all to be happy and meeting each other. A lot of Boy Green Coffee Club members, which would be awesome. And, yeah, so I've got big plans, big aspirations for this event. I think it's going to be friggin' cool, quite frankly. So I can't wait, man. I absolutely can't wait. And by the way, DNY for Life, based on your previous Super Chat contributions, you now have 13 raffle tickets for our contest this month. So salute to you, Devin, a.k.a. DNY for Life. So thank you, sir, so much. Now, Wudi, thank you, Devin, for that coming in. Let's get to it. Let's go to number 5 on the list. Let's work our way up.
Number 5.
Number 5. And if it's not obvious, number 1 is the position we should feel most confident in as Jet fans heading into the season. So this is inside the top 5. It's important. It made the list. Quarterback is what I'm putting at number 5. Some people may have this higher. Some people may have it in different places. Tyrod Taylor, I think, is a quality backup. I like Tyrod Taylor at QB2. QB3, well, I have no idea what the hell that's going to be. Could have been Jordan Travis, he gone. Brady Cook, perhaps. Adrian Martinez for the UFL MVP, folks. But the straw that stirs the drink for this Jets team will be Justin Fields. And some statistics and things of that nature indicate that it will be difficult for Justin Fields to be the guy on his third team in 3 years. But I have a drug called hope. And I have been snorting this puppy in lines off of cabinet counters since I was born. And I love riding the dopamine high of hope. Hope is eternal. We're 0-0 right now. We're tied for first place in the AFC East. Take a picture, baby. And Justin Fields is going to be the determiner, the reason whether we win or we lose. It's a team game, of course, but it's a quarterback-driven league. I'm putting quarterback number 5 here. I have hope, but hope, as often has been said, is not a strategy. So I'm putting it 5 with hopes that it rises up this list throughout the year. But at this moment on May 6th, quarterback's number 5 on the list for me in terms of most confident.
Wow. I asked you to go first because when I looked at the Jets depth chart, I realized that there weren't 5 positions that I felt confident in.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And for this 5th one, there were 3 positions where I was like, any of these 3 positions that I say, like, it's going to come with, like, I have to, defend the argument.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see if you said one of the 3, just to help me be like, oh, okay, like I'm in the right, ballpark or whatever, maybe, I could use that one, or, you know what, that wasn't really a convincing argument. Let me go with the other ones. But you said one that if we made the least confident, that was probably like my second least confident position. So now I feel better about all 3 of the ones that I had. So I guess I can just choose any other one. I will go with
number 5.
Wide receiver. That's what I'll go with. Wide receiver.
Top 5. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, like I said, I don't feel good about 5 positions. But
that's true.
There should be absolutely no argument, absolutely none, that Garrett Wilson is a better wide receiver than Justin Fields as a quarterback.
Wait, say that one more time? I just need to marinate.
Garrett Wilson is a better receiver than Justin Fields is a quarterback.
No argument should be made that Garrett Wilson is a better receiver than Justin Fields as a quarterback. Did I hear that right?
No argument against that statement.
Okay. I'll let you continue. I don't want to interrupt, so go ahead.
But you do. It sounds like. Do you think that's comparable? Do you think that's a comparable? Do you think that Justin Fields?
Just to make sure I clarify, because
yeah, of course.
I went to 2 different colleges, got an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree. I don't know if Fusion High, if they go together, if that makes me a doctor. But so you're telling me that if you put the quarterback rankings in a pile and the wide receiver rankings in a pile, that Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson essentially would be the same equivalence of one another at their positions, if I'm understanding it right.
No, yeah. You might have to cut up one of those degrees. I don't know. All
right. That's why I thought I didn't want to overreact if I misinterpreted what you said. So go ahead.
I'm saying that Garrett Wilson is clearly a much better receiver than Justin Fields as a quarterback.
I think everyone would agree with that. Yes.
That's my whole point, is that there
Okay,
should
great.
be no
Yeah.
argument against that.
Sure.
All right. Yes. Woo. We might have to review the different degrees, but
That's true.
yes. So with that being said, automatically to me, wide receiver is better than quarterback. But again, like, I had quarterback second to last. But why I have it creeping up all the way into the fifth, right? My fifth spot is because you look at that room. I think the floor is higher than a lot of the floors. If you look around, another position that was in my top, the three that I was trying to decide for the five was linebacker. But if something happens to my boy Quincy, we're looking at guys that have literally never played snaps in the NFL. And of course, yes, you can say if something happens to Garrett, but Alan Lazard has played, starting snaps for the last 6 years. Tyler Johnson, you guys have a lot of faith in as somebody who was, buried on the depth chart in LA. Well, now he's not buried no more. Malachi Corley, I do not believe he's a bum. I think there are guys here where I'm not saying the ceiling is high, but the floor is way better. Again, if we're talking about, Tyler Johnson, Josh Reynolds versus, having Chaz Surratt play big minutes. I'm going with those receivers. So, especially with what they're supposed to be doing, or what we assume that they're going to be doing in this run-heavy scheme, you got Josh Reynolds, you got Alan Lazard blocking, one of the two of the better blockers at that position. That's my number 5. I got the wide receivers for the New York Jets.
That is a fascinating way that you thought of this exercise, and that's why I love that we both approach things differently. That you thought of what you said to kick us all off, that no one would argue that Garrett Wilson is not a better receiver than Justin Fields as a quarterback, and thus that's why you put wide receiver in there. That's fascinating. That's an interesting way to put it, because the depth of that is that obviously only one quarterback, outside of interesting wildcat situations that are few and far in between, only one quarterback is on the field at any given time. Shit, you could have 4 or 5 receivers on the field depending on what you're doing in a four. So it's interesting how we can value different positions for that. I find that fascinating. So well done, Wudi. Good. You always get my cogs turning. That's for sure. And something else that has me turning is our boy for Lillian Big D, baby, sending in a massive super chat here on Boy Green Meets Wudi, and gave a wonderful, well-paid, we'll send that check in the mail for Lily for the Boy Green Meets Wudi promotion he gave the other day on Boy Green Daily. We appreciate that.
Wow.
Need more raffle tickets, so need to think of something to say. Pops 0%. Where are you? O-line, best position on the team by far. We'll get to the second half of what you said later. And Wudi, in case you missed it, on the Hop on Pop episode over the weekend, the Knicks Celtics thing came up because I'm a Celtics fan because of my father being born in Garden of Mass. And he said he is overseas right now. Of course, you already knew that, but he's overseas in Abu Dhabi. And there is a structure in Abu Dhabi that's the biggest structure in the world. And he went to the top floor, and he said he was gifted some intel from the top floor, and he wanted to share it with all of us. I said, oh, well, please do. And he said, I wrote it on a piece of paper. Here are the chances of the New York Knicks beating the Boston Celtics in the second round. He showed it on the screen, and it said 0.0%. That is the chances of the Knicks doing that. And that stirred up a lot of fans in the comments, because most fans, I don't want to generalize, but there's a lot of fans in our audience that are Jets Knicks fans. So they were quite, not enthralled, what's the right word? Pissed. I'm trying not to be so direct and blunt about it, but angry, infuriated, like, hell, who the hell? And thus now for Lily brings it back full circle to say, where are you? And Pop is scheduled to make an appearance coming up on Saturday. We will have the first 2 games of this series in the book by then, so we'll see how he feels coming up over there for Lily. But appreciate the massive super chat here. We'll add that to your ticket total, my friend. Very nice. Appreciate it. And more to come, certainly, here on the program. So thank you kindly, sir. Yeah.
Let's go, Knicks.
There you go. So thank you for Lily. I'll add that up to your total coming up here shortly. All right. Do you want to go belly to belly here, or do you want me to jump in at number 4 there, Woodster?
I can do number 4.
Okay. Let me hit it.
Number 4.
Yes. This is a position I don't feel great about.
Okay.
Like, it's not like I'm, this is our room. But I wouldn't add, like, if I had the choice to add, I feel like it's set as it is, and that is the corner back room. Not quarter, but the corners of Sauce, MC2,
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Stevens, and the rest of the guys there. Here's the thing. I like Sauce. I like MC2. I really like the draft pick of Azarie. Definitely just butchered that, Thomas.
You did. It's Azarie Thomas, yes, but okay.
Yes. I really like that pick. Brandon Stevens, they say they're going to use him in unique ways. So the room looks solid. It doesn't look like there's, really room to add somebody else. Quantez Stiggers is waiting in the wings. Isaiah Oliver waiting in the wings. JBC, I used to call him Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Now I just call him JBC. Waiting in the wings. Like, I like the depth. The starters are fine. The room is fine. So that's where number 4. Give me the corners.
More on that to come. We'll get back to corner at a different point on this list. So let's
Number 4.
Number 4 on the list. I want to go with the RBs, the running backs. I'm putting at number 4. I'm putting them right here in the top 4, the top 5. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and a guy I want you guys to make sure you pay attention to. We got Jets rookie minicamp coming up this weekend. I think you're going to get even more familiar with this young man, Donovan Edwards, on the cover of the NCAA video game, former Michigan man. I think he's going to be your RB4 on the 53-man roster. This running back room I feel really good about. Breece Hall is going to be ultra motivated. FL Phil 98 has said it several times here over the last couple of months. He should be as motivated as he has ever been for the Jets and to prove himself, to get a contract from the Jets or one of the other 31 NFL teams. So he's the guy. And then we will see how these other running backs, along with Breece, sort of mesh with this Tanner Engstrand system. And having Justin Fields as a running quarterback, the most dual-threat quarterback the Jets have had in a very long time, maybe ever, there at quarterback, and you pair all those things together. So I'm really excited about this room, and we'll see where they go. And like I said, Donovan Edwards, I think, will be your RB4. So this RB room's got a lot of youth, and talent. And with Justin Fields, I think they can reach another level. So give me RBs at number 4.
Wow. I guess we'll hear more about that later to steal a page from your book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So hit us with number 3, right? If that's how we're doing it. 5, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Number 3.
Oh, my number 3, right? I'm an idiot. All right, let's get to number 3. Punter. Pew, pew. Confidence level and Punter.
Good.
Top 3, baby. Because here's the thing. You may have saw the YouTube thumbnail. You're like, who is that? Who's that white guy on the screen? Who is that guy? It is Austin McNamara. So just in case things go south, the Jets have Austin McNamara. But I'm not really even considering Austin, to be blunt. It's Thomas Morstead, old tried and true. Aaron Glenn hates old people. So I feel bad for his parents or whatever. If they're ready for a retirement home, Aaron Glenn's going to put them in it early because he does not like the senior citizens on the team. But Thomas Morstead is the representative senior on this team. And I don't think Aaron Glenn's just going to cut guys because they're old. I think he's going to read the room here on certain guys like Thomas Morstead. This guy is a leader, and this guy is one of the best at his position. Thomas Morstead, former Pro Bowler. This is our guy. I feel great about Punter. And for a team that over the years, we're like, oh, when Aaron Rodgers came along, we were like, oh, man, how often is Thomas Morstead even going to be punting? Well, we got that answer in 2023 as Thomas Morstead shattered NFL records for punts in a season. And now we've got Thomas Morstead still here. We've had Thomas Morstead on the show several times. He talked about how much longer he wants to continue to do this. He prides himself on the tempo, his physique, his body of getting him ready for the season. And that's one thing that I know we could have on lock and key is Thomas Morstead is going to continue to deliver for the green and white, one of the best punters in football. That is on lock, cha-chink, Thomas Morstead.
Put up Floor Lily's comment, please, because that's what we're all thinking right now. Listening to you, I mean, did you take this assignment seriously, Boy Green?
Hell yeah, Punter.
This list is one of the most ridiculous lists I've ever seen. You put up 2 question marks in the first 3 of your 5 picks right now.
Do you have a thing against punters? Punters are people too, man. Punters are people too.
All right. Yeah. I have nothing against punters. It's just a very odd choice, as our commenters agreed. I mean, it's just a weird choice. And you put a huge question mark in as number 5. But anyway, let's I guess number 3.
Number 3
is center. Okay, no, just making sure that not Karl Anthony Towns. Even though I do love Towns, I love me some Towns. All right, but he's not getting in foul trouble.
I'll take Al Horford over him, but go ahead.
Are you kidding? All right, let's not talk about it. But that's the most disrespectful thing you ever said. I wouldn't even take Al Horford in his prime over Towns. But Joe Tippmann, I believe, Boy Green, you would definitely know this stat for real. But I believe that Joe Tippmann played more snaps than any other offensive player this past season. I know for a fact he didn't than any other lineman because he didn't. I don't think he missed a snap. So actually, that would
he would have to.
Yes, exactly. So that's, I mean, Iron Man right there. But the best part about this, which had people confused at the time of his signing, but now it's crystal clear, is that Josh Myers, right, the guy from the Packers, who was starting last year. He was in the playoffs starting last year. The last 4 years, I know, but just saying as recently as then,
right.
Football, right, in front of Jordan Love is now his backup. That's one of my favorite ways to measure depth and to measure, the improvement or regression of depth from season to season is to look at a player and say, what was he doing last year? And what is he doing now? Last year, he was snapping the ball to Jordan Love in the playoffs. This year, he is backing up Joe Tippmann. That is excellent depth. Give me center. Yes, this is a position that I actually can sleep and feel great that we have those centers there. Of course, if something happens to both of them, we have people, the guards who also can play center as well. But of course, we hope to not even get in that situation.
Yeah, I can't throw any shade here. This is a great call out. We have not had great center play since Nick Mangold. So to have Joe Tippmann, who was a top 8 center in all PFF analytics this past season, was awesome. And he's been really good since he got that opportunity. So I'm really excited at the center position. And again, they got Josh Myers, who was the 4-year starting center for the Packers. 3 of his 4 years, they went to the playoffs. And they got him for $2 million. Like, whoa. What? I don't know how it happened. Again, there's Justin Fields, Ohio State thing. And I heard a little bit from Josh Myers talk about his agent and why they thought this was a great fit. So I don't know what they see. Obviously there had to be a vision of why they would openly take this gig. So they must know something. But either way, I think it's great depth for the Jets at center. So you got to love that.
1,000%. And similar room for number 2. So you can, maybe I'm double dipping, but again, this is just a point of, me not liking this roster as much as I thought I did. Is 2. Offensive tackle.
Okay.
Right. We got Olu, Membu, Chukwu. We got a lot of people out there in the offensive tackles, I mean, the starting ones, young, hungry, athletic. You got to love that. I mean, this is a line that, in a couple of years, we might be referring to as the best offensive line in football, because that's what they're about to do is grow together, continue to mesh, and have that chemistry. And then in the backup, right, we want to talk about starting 4 years for a successful franchise. Well, that's what Mr. Okafor did for the Steelers. I called him a quitter. Boy Green wants to tell me he's not a quitter. He just, was in a terrible situation. Okay. Well, now that's the swing tackle, which is amazing because I said this last year. It's kind of crazy that I'm saying it this year. But, anytime that we are multiple injuries away from Carter Warren stepping on the field, we are in a good spot. And right now we are multiple injuries from Carter Warren stepping on the field. Who knows if he even makes it, survives camp. But, yes, this room, there's a lot to like in this room. So that is my number 2. Before I pass it back to you, I just want to make it crystal clear because there's a huge debate happening in our comment section about nothing that has anything to do with what we're talking about right now, but it's signing Justin Tucker. If you guys have watched the Ravens last year, you wouldn't want that, right? Because Tucker was right there with Zerline in terms of missing kicks. Like, he was actually worse in a lot of respects in terms of missing kicks. He was absolutely atrocious. Ravens fans wanted him gone in the middle of the season. So signing him would be, especially obviously, of course, with the situation happening off the field, would be one of the dumbest things they could possibly do. And not something that I expect Aaron Glenn, somebody who does not like the circus, to do.
Yeah, I'll address the Tucker thing real quick. I haven't talked about it anywhere. Football purely, I will say the other thing in a second. He is one of, if not the greatest kickers in NFL history. If you just look at the numbers, the clutchness, the percentages, the everything, he's one of the best kickers of all time in terms of career. Now, we talk about the football. You mentioned it, the struggles. Baltimore people are like, what do we do? That stat I just said, he's one of the best of all time, but damn, he's struggling, and we're trying to win games, and kickers can be the difference. If people want to make fun of punters, making top 3, punters or kickers, name how you want, those can often be the difference between good teams and great teams, good moments, bad moments. That can sometimes be what is the difference of 2 titans, 2 really good NFL teams going at it. What's the kicker-punter advantage? Sometimes that can have, a difference. Obviously, there is a lot happening off the field, and there are a lot of allegations against one Justin Tucker for alleged things he did at a massage parlor, or several massage parlors for that matter, in the Baltimore area. He has vehemently denied these claims, and the Ravens, when they cut him, they said it was purely a football decision. I'll let the legal process do its course. I'm not a lawyer. We'll let the legal process do its course for Justin Tucker, and ultimately that will tell us what happened here. The more talented you are, the more teams are willing to deal with. With Justin Tucker's recent issues that you highlighted on the field, Wudi, that doesn't seem worth even the perception of everything that's going on right now around it. If he was the best kicker of all time and there were no football issues this past season, teams have proven throughout history that they will take people that have allegedly done all kinds of horrific things in their life. Well, can you kick a football? Can you pass a football? So the moral compass of NFL teams is sort of an interesting debate that maybe we could do on a future Boy Green Meets Wudi. So long story short, I don't anticipate it either. I get there are serious questions about Greg Zuerlein. Spoiler alert, he didn't make any of my top 5, for those that were curious. Greg Zuerlein in the kicker position did not make the most confident list. So, like I said, we'll see what happens there. But for your addressing of that in terms of kicker. So let's continue on with our list here, Woody. Again, we got 200 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We're streaming live in 5 different locations. My Twitter, my Instagram, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/boygreen25, Woody's Instagram, and Take Flight Talk all things New York Jets, both from me and Wudi together, obviously, every Tuesday and Thursday, plus his own Jets content as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Take Flight Talk for more. Let's go. And this is a position you addressed earlier, Wudi, but I think you were a little low.
Number 2.
A little low. Low. Cornerback. Corner. CB. We got Sauce Gardner, a 2-time first-team All-Pro. We got Michael Carter II, arguably the best slot nickel corner in football. And then at the other starting corner position, currently is Brandon Stevens, the $36 million man. And you have Azareye'h Thomas, who was talked about in January as a first-round corner coming out of the Senior Bowl. Then my man ran a 4.58 at the 40. Then went, slow as molasses, whale-looking ass. Sorry, see ya. And he falls to the third round. On both of these players, both Brandon Stevens and Azareye'h Thomas, who people question the speed, I trust Aaron Glenn. If I could put him as a position in the top 5, I put his ass. Pretty confident in what he can bring to the table. We can question how good of a head coach he's going to be. None of us know. But for a guy that played corner at the NFL level for 15 years, if he says, yeah, I like that Brandon Stevens guy. Okay. Azareye'h Thomas, I like that guy. Okay. That's your position, man. He knows that better than anything. So I'm not going to question that. Plus, I love Quantez Stiggers. You lose Brandon Eccles, but I think Azareye'h Thomas is your Brandon Eccles replacement plus potential future starter. The Jarek Bernard Converse. This corner room is friggin' awesome. We have questions about Brandon Stevens, but again, I go to AG and say, you know what? I trust you, buddy. You think you see it? Great. This corner room is awesome. The Jets have one of the deepest corner rooms in football. They got to feel great about the talent and the star power and the credentials. I love this corner room, so I have to put it number 2 on this list, Wudi. I think you are far too low on the cornerback position, especially with the head coach being a former corner himself for a long time, one of the best corners in Jets franchise history.
I mean, yeah. I have heard that narrative a lot. I have, I do believe that Aaron Glenn has a plan. It's not like he has been, developing elite corners, in his time as DC in any of his other stops. So to act like, that's what he's about to do here, kind of seems a little, just overly optimistic.
Carlton
lines, like you said.
Carlton Davis? Carlton Davis?
Yeah, what about Carlton Davis?
Well, he just became one of the richest corners in football in free agency after leaving Aaron Glenn's care.
I mean, Javon Kinlaw is one of the richest defensive linemen in free agency. So what are we saying?
I don't accept that as evidence. I dismiss that evidence.
Right,
I don't accept it.
That's up to you, but yes. So yes. Thank you for those nonsensical points, boy Green. But yes,
right.
Hey, different lines. That's what you're doing.
As your tribal chief, again, this is Boy Green meets Wudi, not Wudi meets Boy Green. So I want to see the ones go up, baby, for number 1 on the list, for your tribal chief, for the head of the table, for the guy that runs the place.
Number 1.
And I'm categorizing this whole puppy in one thing, because you may say, Paul, we're going pretty deep on the list here. Where's it? The offensive line as an overall unit, I'm putting at number 1. This entire block. And oh, yes, the thing I forgot to get to before I even get to my point, the only question the red flag was going to throw on your offensive tackle being so high is obviously the starters are great. Olu Fashanu, Orman Membu, young tandem. You feel really great about that. Chukwuma Okorafor. I've been singing his sweet praises since he was signed last month. My question, though, is so let me just ask you, Woody, I guess. Who is the backup left tackle to Olu Fashanu in your mind?
Well, I thought they would Okorafor would be swinging.
Okay. That's on his own time. He could do what he wishes, but appreciate you sharing that intel. No. Chukwuma Okorafor, apparently, from the sources I talked to, with people in New England, his beef was like, you want me? You want me playing left tackle? Oh, hell nah. I'm a right tackle. And it caused all kinds of beef. He played 12 snaps, didn't play, all those issues. So he said, I'm a right tackle. They tried to make me play left tackle. I didn't think I was going to be very successful. And then bing, boom, bam, issues happen. So
we've heard somebody say, I am a left tackle in caps. and all of a sudden they doing something else, winning the Super Bowl. So
Well,
people act differently when they get to different places.
sure. I would just follow up. My only concern about the offensive line is great. Obviously, it's number one on my list. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I love the group. Who is the backup left tackle old fashioned who has me feeling a little heebie-jeebie? Now, normally when you get that third tackle, which in this case is Chukwuma Okorafor, you normally like that guy to be able to play left and right. In Chukwuma Okorafor's very long NFL career, 7+ years in the league, he's played like 12 snaps of left tackle, and all of it was for New England last season. So he's played very, very sparingly at left tackle throughout his entire career. So that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause. Now, normally, like I said, you want your third tackle to be your swing tackle. He can play left, he can play right, whatever you need. It's harder on roster construction when your guy does not play left tackle. Again, to your point, maybe he just does. He just took the bitter pill last year from the Patriots, and now he's going to be the guy. But if he's not the guy, now you have a special service right tackle and Okorafor backup. Then you need a special service left tackle for Olu. And that complicates things if any injuries happen, because if you do any shuffling, you're like, shit, I can't do this because he's stuck here. I can't do this because he's stuck here. So that's my only problem. That's my one criticism. But again, offensive line is number one on my list, so I'm cherry picking. Fair enough. I think the line is the best offensive line the Jets have had in 15 years. We're going back to the AFC Championship games. Those representations where we had the perfect balance of youth and veteran with guys like DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Nick Mangold. You obviously had the veterans like Damian Woody, Brandon Moore, Alan Faneca. Like, you just had a perfect mixed balance here. And this five that we're talking about are all under the age of 27. The oldest one is John Simpson. He's the only one bumping it up to 27. If we removed him, they'd be even younger. So, and we're just talking about him. This offensive line's great. I'm really excited about it. It's going to give Justin Fields the best offensive line he's ever worked with. This offensive line is going to provide for the run game and the pass game, and we will see what else comes from that. But that's the part I'm really excited about. So number one on the list, number one position group I feel the most confident in heading into the season is this bleeping offensive line, and it has been a long-ass time since I've been able to say that with my chest.
Yeah, they're pretty good. As you have heard from my takes of the 2 and 3, I don't like grouping, multiple positions all together. There's 3 positions there, or technically 5.
I was just about to say technically 5, but yes, yeah.
But we're gonna all group them as one. If you consider it like that, then I really only felt good about 2 groups
Yeah.
on this team. Corner is like I said, it's fine. We'll see, how Sauce bounces back. That's not a foregone conclusion that, he will be an all-pro again. That's something that remains to be seen. And then of course it's a whole lot of people proving things in that room. But it was enough. There are enough pieces there where I didn't feel bad, which is why they were on my list. I have one position left.
Okay.
And I'm almost appalled. Like I feel disrespected that you put this group so low, because to me they have no weakness. They are the running backs.
No.
They have
Number 1.
four talented running backs. I really don't understand how they can be anything lower than 1 when you consider the top of the heap could be, one of the best running backs in the league, but then like the bottom of the heap, like this is the deepest position. You literally presented your number 1. It was like, I have the heebie-jeebies about left tackle. There is no heebie-jeebie, Anamano Nibi, over here. If Breeze goes down, I have faith in Braylon. If Braylon goes down, I have faith in Isaiah Davis. If Isaiah Davis goes down, I think Donovan Edwards can just go in there and have some solid games. Kene Nwanu, who you didn't even show any respect to, I'd like him returning some kicks. They were saying this whole time, secret weapon, returning kicks. They never played him. And then the first time they played him, he literally returned a kick for a touchdown. This group is by far the deepest group on the team. And of course, their ceiling is also one of the highest on this team as well. So for me, it's not even close. It's not even close. That's what I'm most excited for when you look at the combination of the offensive line and the fact that, the Lions, they talk about Sonic and Knuckles. I mean, I don't even know what we call in this group. They got Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and DK. Like they got running backs for days on this team behind this line. Running back far and away number one. Super confident, super hyped. Can't wait to see what they do this year.
Wudi, if we're going to do these top fives in games, then we need to make sure we're perfectly understanding the rules, okay? Because if we did, you would have puff passed, okay? You puff and you never pass because you're smoking a doobie over here. You're using your papers for rolling doobies, not writing rankings. That's for damn sure. Running back number one, no weakness. Breece Bleepin Hall has been hurt basically his entire career. And you say, but Boy Green, his rookie season, the first 7.5 games. Come on, man. The fact of the matter is Breece didn't look right last year. And then you're telling me that, let me pull this up. One moment, please. Let me use my phone a friend option. We all get lifelines, right? We all get lifelines, different things we can use on game shows. Okay, let me pull this up right quick. Let me hit this up. Let me do this real quick. Let me do a quick little discount double check here.
It's not seeming real quick. I know you're saying the words real quick.
Yeah.
But we taking our time, taking Boy Green sweet time.
So so you're telling me, Boy Green, there's no weakness. Look at Braylon Allen's 334 rushing yards last year, 3.6 a clip. Disgusting. Look at Isaiah Davis's 30 carries, 174 yards last year. What are we talking about that there's no weakness? I included it in my top 5 out of respect because I like the potential with the P. Okay, not the production, the potential. And the fact of the matter is that you are smoking the highs. Make sure at the end of the show you give your recommendation for where you're getting your weed from, son, because running back at number one is just puffing and promoting and projecting and prognosticating. It seems less on real facts. It seems more on maybe a coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's what seems to be happening here, Woody.
Not at all. We've seen that the team can produce. I mean, of course, what they can be is a projection. But if we're talking about that, then come on now. Justin Fields was number 5 on your list, and my man's is playing for his third team in 3 years. But I do think that the running backs, I wouldn't say they have a weakness. You just quoted Isaiah Davis. That's damn near 6 yards of carry that Isaiah Davis had, but apparently that's trash to you. Like I said, behind this line, right? The line is a projection. You just said it's about to be the best offensive line in the last 15 years. If that's not a projection, then I don't know what is. So there's, production and projection is part of this list. Your list literally exemplifies that. So my list is going to exemplify that as well. But with actual talented players, the 4 running backs on this, or 5 running backs that I named, are productive players, and I'm excited to see them perform this year.
You say my list. Hey, Slappy, look at your list in projection. Offensive line, no projection necessary. 4 of the 5 starters were locked in. That's pretty straight shot.
Corner, but were they the best offensive line in football last year? You just said they were going to be the best offensive line the Jets have had in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Is there proof?
But how does that compare to last season?
Is that not a projection?
That's not a projection. That they are literally right now on May 6th the best offensive line the Jets have had in 15 years. That's not a projection. That's fact. That is fact. That the talent, the experience, the everything, not the projection, not what they could be. They are literally right now, if we took the temperature, gauged, best offensive line in 15 years. No projection.
Yeah, that's literally, that is almost the definition of projection. Armand Membu hasn't even played a game. You telling me it's fact? What are you talking about?
Talent.
You're literally projecting his abilities on the field.
I have no idea what he's going to do on the field. No clue. but I'll tell you this: he has to be better than Carter Warner, Max Mitchell by default.
My God,
no,
it doesn't. That's the
here's
problem.
The thing. Okay,
you're projecting that it has to be something that nothing ever has to be anything.
Okay, the running back who had the most fumbles in the NFL last year was Ramondre Stevenson. He held that title. He holds the crown. I'm not sure what the award is for second place. If we did have such an award, that would be Breece Hall. He fumbled 5 times last year. So he didn't have the production. And when he got the touches, he was fumbling the ball all over the gosh darn place. So unless you're teaching him to hold a football in bed and where he's walking around all over the place, he's fumbling it. Fumbling opportunities. Fumbling business. Look at that projection. What is that?
Super chats. Just to spray your hate. Ignoring super chats. Come on now, put it on the screen now.
Sure.
Put it on the screen now. Come on now.
I'm a man of super chats, sure. Every time we get one of those, come on, you know the business by now. You sort of get it.
Wow.
J-Boy here on the show. $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Hard to get rushing yards when your old-ass quarterback is switching it to a pass all effing season.
J-Boy, my man, let's go. All right,
okay.
We ready talking.
Great. Excuses, nice.
There should be no. First of all, what I'm saying is that I literally only liked 2 position groups in total: the offensive line and the running backs. So, you hyping up the offensive line is that's right in line with where I'm thinking. But for you to come at the running backs,
yeah,
act like they're not about to have a great season,
unproven, completely unproven. What did Braylon? So you say Isaiah Davis? He had 30 carries last year. So easy, young fella. Rein it on in. Okay. Well, 5.9 yards per carry. 30 carries last year. So sample size, a little minuscule. Braylon Allen had 3.6 per clip last year as we hyped him up to be the next Derrick Henry. Production says otherwise. And then we go to our boy Breece Hall, who never looked right at all last year, was fumbling all over the place. Where you say, like, this is some perfect running back position. I just don't see it. How can they be any lower than number 1? Number 1 is it. What? I totally disagree. Top 5? Sure. Number 1? Challenge flag. By the way, J-Boy, this is your 40th raffle ticket so far this month, and you are $1 away from another raffle ticket for your bookkeeping for the rest of the month. Want to make sure I throw that out there. But come on, man. We're Captain Excuses. Is Breece Hall giving you a royalty check on his next contract? I hope not, because we don't even know if he's getting one of those. But I appreciate that that's what we're doing around here. Come on now.
Well, he's definitely getting a next contract. What we don't know is if it is from this team, which hopefully it is. But yeah, I would say, like I said, I stand on everything that I said, standing on business. I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. We're all expecting a rush heavy attack.
Sure.
And if the offensive line is what Boy Green is projecting it to be, then what I'm expecting from the running backs will be easy peasy.
No projection.
Lemon squeezy.
Again, no projection. Yeah.
It's clear. Clear projection. Do we need to add Webster, the dictionary? Also, special shout out to Sharon.
Yes.
Warren Warrior, just like myself. Just want
Wow.
because those are my exact teams. Literally last night, seeing the Knicks and the Mets get their respective dubs. All I was thinking was like, damn, can the Jets do anything right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, according to Sharon, they about to start doing things right. For me, I'm gonna have to see. Wait and see. But the Knicks and the Mets, at least they love me.
Well, that's true. Now, Sharon, she's been a member for 8 months. Thank you, Sharon. We appreciate the support. Jets will exceed expectations. That's sort of vague. Their expectations from Vegas are 5.5 wins. For the love of God, I hope they exceed those. But how much more? We'll see. And if we're comparing it to the Knicks and Mets, obviously, right? The Knicks have this wonderful season. They're top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Mets, for a large part of this MLB season so far, has been the best team in baseball. They're like a half a game or a game off that right now, but they've been awesome. So, yeah, things have been really good. If we're swimming in those waters, top 3 seed or best team in football in a certain amount of time, okay, Now we're talking. But we'll see what happens. I'm not putting that on you, Sharon. We will see what expectations are as we continue to evolve. Aaron Glenn is all about moving in silence. We will see what all that means in due time. But Wudi, go ahead.
Silent but deadly.
Hopefully, a very passionate show, Wudi, with all kinds of juice here on the program. A couple of shout outs. Thank you to everyone that gifted. The scrolling ticker for those watching on YouTube is official. That's a scrolling ticker for all your super chats and memberships that came through. Thank you guys so much for the support. We appreciate that. And again, this is our contest. Throw this up one more time. Again, the New York Jets commemorative game coin with a certificate of authenticity from the National Football League, a signature football that is a full-size NFL football. Both those items are going to a lucky person on June 1st. And again, if you purchase a Boy Green raffle ticket, and the way you can do that is joining the Boy Green Coffee Club down below, gifting Boy Green Coffee Club memberships on YouTube, and super chats. All those are ways to do it. They're $2.99 a pop, and it is totaled throughout the month. So, for instance, Jay Boy just sent in a $5 super chat. That's one raffle ticket and $2 left over. Then next time he gives $1, boom, he gets another raffle ticket. So we do that throughout the entire month of May. We're still early. It's only May 6th here. So we got a fun month to come. Wudi, exciting as always, and I'm looking forward to another program coming up on Thursday. It should be a doozy.
Oh, every single time the afternoon squad is able to huddle together Tuesdays, Thursdays at 3 p.m., it's a great time. You already know we talking Jets. We talking everything top and bottom, all right? Different perspectives. That's what you guys are here to see. And you already know, Boy Green, there is nobody realer than him, keeping it real. And James Wudi, you already know, hey, sometimes the truth hurts, but that don't stop me from telling it. All right, so I'm here to let you know. And then one example of that is that when I meant silent but deadly, I did not mean like the G's in lasagna. No, I did not mean that.
No,
I meant like silent but deadly, like my wife's farts. Like that's what I meant.
Oh,
like
wow.
that the Jets probably stink.
Oh,
God. But hey, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Aaron Glenn. We'll see if he's making the right moves.
Before we sign off, I apologize. I want to make sure I never miss your guys' super chats or member shout-outs. So my apologies, OG Jets fan 1985. Thank you for the reminder. You sent this in. We appreciate you being a member for 4 months here on the channel. Thank you, brother. And let's answer this, of course, obviously, here on the show.
Wow.
BG, Wudi, Knicks, baby. Need a wide receiver, too, to be successful, says OG Jets fan 1985. Which, by the way, I brought up 1985 earlier. Mickey Schuler is the Jets tight end that's put up the most numbers in 85. It was the 85 season. He has the most receptions ever in a single season for a Jets tight end in 1985, and most receiving yards ever for a Jets tight end in 1985. Just under 880 receiving yards and 70 some odd catches. So we'll see if Mason Taylor can take a page out of that playbook, Mr. 1985. Need a wide receiver to be successful? Is there one on the roster that we will uncover through training camp and say, hey, maybe we don't see it right now, but maybe AG and company do see it? Something to think about, perhaps, potentially, here on the show. So thank you, OG. And again, my apologies for missing it that late for the show. Appreciate you. And then one more time for J-Boy, who's asking, how do you gift again? Even though he seems quite familiar in the technique of gifting. If you are trying to gift on YouTube and you've seen other people do it and you want to do it, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the money sign. It's a little money logo emoji. Click that. There's a bunch of options that pop up. Super chats, this, that, or the other. The final one says gift channel memberships. Click that. And then it says, how many would you like to give? 1, 3, 5, 10, 20, 50. As many as you like. They are $2.99 a pop. And every membership you gift is a raffle ticket for our contest. So just keep that in mind, people. That's how you do it. You guys can feel free to do it on, Boy Green Daily in the mornings at 7:30 in the morning, or Boy Green Meets Wudi, 3 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So thank you, J-Boy, and thank you, everybody, for all the wonderful comments here on the program. All right, Wudi. God bless, pal.
Yes, until Thursday, 3 p.m. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day today. You know you'll be seeing this man tomorrow, and you'll be seeing me on Thursday, 3 p.m.
God bless y'all, and we'll see you.